Well, chaps, 6 down, 2 to go. And I wonder to what extent is the Half-Blood Prince a pivotal chapter in the Harry Potter series? And perhaps David, the two Davids would like to start on this, David Heyman and David Yates. Is it pivotal?
It's absolutely pivotal, actually, guys. Basically, in our story, as you know, Harry is charged with this mission to recover this memory from Horace Slughorn. And in the DNA of that memory, ultimately, is a key to defeating Voldemort. So in terms of narrative propulsion in the series, Half-Blood Prince is a very key step along the way, and it's pivotal. But I suppose more importantly, and more interestingly as well, is the fact that our cast are just getting that little bit older now, and the hormones are starting to fly. And for me, it sort of marks a real transition point between our cast as children and our cast as adults. So it's a very important transitional part of the journey.
That's particularly true for Michael Gambon.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
And also, there's another aspect which I think, David, which is also, I think that Dumbledore is really beginning to pass the mantle on to Harry, really, and it's really through this film, and by the end of it, the mantle has been passed, and Harry really now is the person who is the protector of the wizard world and the person who is charged with defeating Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, I mean, specifically from my character's point of view, it used to be the case that Harry's relationship with Dumbledore was one of a teacher and a student, but actually, in this time round, it becomes very much a general and one of his foot soldiers, one of his lieutenants, lieutenants. Sorry, I'm English, and so I, it was a pleasure to play that with Michael. Well, it was all right.
A bit of a pleasure.
Yeah.
But I hand the lead over to Daniel, don't I? To your character in that scene. I give it all over to you.
Yeah.
You take over. Take that with the weight and the worry of it. But I'm falling apart.
Yes.
In real life as well.
And Tom and Bonnie, did you find that this was pivotal for you, significant?
Very much so. This was the first real chance I had to sort of discover Draco's deeper thoughts and feelings, and of course he's set a very special task by the Dark Lord, so that adds a whole another twist to his character. So I thoroughly enjoyed interweaving with this already the main storyline going.
Yeah, and the sort of interweaving, I think, obviously for my character, offers obviously refuge and escape from everything that Harry's experiencing. So it kind of adds the romance, which does a lot of other relationships that are happening, and again the hormones that people are really discovering themselves and being a lot more individual, I think, with it.
Great. We'll open it, if you could have a microphone at the front here. There are 3 questions, I think, in the front row. Bruce, would you like to start off there? Then I'll listen.
Michael, a lot of people talk about young actors going to seasoned performers in a cast and asking them for advice, but do you find it equally inspiring for you with seeing so much young talent coming up around you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I like being. I mean, in this particular film, I've been with Tom and Daniel, and most of all, and it's like great being surrounded by young actors because I can learn a lot from them. That is their simplicity.
I'll take that as a compliment.
And that's meant as a compliment, and not like my acting, which is usually right over the top and sort of deeply complicated and mired in subtext and things. But so I just pick up my simplicity of thought from younger people. Does that make sense?
No.
No. Right.
Alison.
Yeah, this is a question for Daniel. Obviously, in the last film, there was a great deal of sort of anticipation surrounding your first kiss, and obviously you have an intimate moment with Bonnie in this. And I just wondered, was it more relaxing in this film to kiss her because you'd already got that big scene out of the way previously, or did it have its own problems?
I don't know. It wasn't. It was just. I think I speak for the both of us when I say it's just sort of like it is just another scene. It's not the idea that it's I think for you maybe because it was your first kiss on screen, and obviously that's can be very nerve-wracking. For me, it wasn't particularly. It was slightly odd because when Katie came in to play Cho, she was always coming in, you know, as a love interest. So that was always, I knew that was always the basis on which we were going to be working together. Whereas, you know, what age were you when you did the first film?
9.
Right, yeah. So that's weird because I've grown up with Bonnie from the age of 9, and so that's quite strange in a way. But it wasn't. There were no problems presented by it at all, really.
Okay, and the gentleman just beside Alison, and then we'll come over the side, first and second row here. Thank you.
Hi, there's also a question for Daniel. As much as I know, this month you're turning to 20. Is this special for you because you're giving up your teenager years? And how often does it happen that you're called Harry instead of Daniel?
Not so much anymore. I did used to get it quite a lot. But I think that's just because it's easier for people. Because they sort of just didn't used to know my name, so but they had a point of reference, which was always the point from Harry. Harry, you know, that was what they would shout at me to get my attention. No, I mean, in terms of turning 20, it's fun. I suppose it's another year, isn't it? I suppose I've lived longer. That's good. I've survived another one. But yeah, other than that, there's not. I haven't got anything planned. I haven't got anything particular. Nothing really happens at 20, does it? You don't get well. I don't know. Maybe it did for you. You might have had a fantastic 20th birthday. And I hope if mine is half as good as yours, then I'll be happy. But no, I don't. I've no plans at the moment. No, sir.
Lady at the front here, and then the gentleman
Hi,
here.
my name is Tina Hartman. I'm from the top magazine in Norway, and I've got a question for you, Daniel.
Okay.
Which of those magic spells or tricks in the Harry Potter movies would you like to know in real life?
Invisibility would be good because you could sneak up on people like Michael and give him heart attacks. That would be fun. That would be the one I would probably go for. Or if I could fly, that would be awesome as well. But it's all theory at the moment, though.
You could tell me jokes while you were invisible.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't have to laugh.
Exactly.